In the headlines, 2 shooting incidents last night leave 1 man dead and 2 others hospitalized. Several people displaced by a fire in the city. A new artificial intelligence-driven chest pain diagnosis pilot project launched. And in sports, Olympic athletes enter the draft for Barbados Grand Prix.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tisha Hines with the details to the news. 1 man is dead and 2 others hospitalized after 2 shooting incidents last night, one in St. Philip and the other in St. John. The fatal shooting occurred in St. Philip when a family was confronted by gunmen. We get the details in this Crystal Hoyt report.
Barbados has recorded its 23rd homicide for the year. The victim has been identified as 22-year-old Cameron Alcott of 47 Rendezvous Gardens, Christchurch. He was fatally shot here just outside his family's variety shop around 9 p.m. on Thursday, June 12th. Police investigations revealed that the family was in the process of securing the establishment when 2 armed assailants approached and demanded jewelry from one of the family members. Police Communications and Public Affairs Officer Acting Inspector Ryan Brathwaite shared further details.
A struggle ensued and several shots were discharged, resulting in 2 male family members being shot. One of these males succumbed to his injuries after being transported to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in a private motor car. The other was transported in an ambulance and is currently undergoing treatment.
The latest incident has left the 6 Roads business community shaken. It has also motivated them to increase security measures. One vendor who preferred not to be identified on camera described the Alcott family as good people.
I knew them as being around here selling as a business owner and just normal everyday people just looking for $1 to survive, you know.
She remembered the young Alcott fondly, noting he went to school with her daughter.
As a mother, you have a son, you will feel bad. I am a mother, I have kids as well, so I know the mother must be feeling very hurt now when she lost her son. Something needs to be done.
The vendor spoke about the safety measures she plans to put in place.
From now on, I will close a bit earlier for my safety, you know, and my husband's safety. We will close a bit earlier. We have cameras up, you know. But a camera still can't stop a man from doing what he wants to do still, you know.
Another business owner described the young man as pleasant, adding that he was being trained to take over the family business. He described the shooting death as devastating news. Investigations are ongoing. Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
Now, the other shooting happened earlier last night at Venture Number 3 in St. John. In that incident, it is said it occurred around 7 p.m. An eyewitness who preferred not to give his name told CBC the gunman appeared to be waiting in a parked car for his victim.
As soon as the person walked past the car, the people got out of the car and just fired shots at that person. You don't know exactly how many times he was shot, but he fell to the ground. And then some of the residents came and consoled him to the point where he was just not there alone.
Police and ambulance personnel subsequently arrived, and the victim was transported to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital by ambulance. The eyewitness also had some recommendations for the authorities to enhance their crime-fighting efforts. They include installing surveillance cameras in more communities.
What that would do is capture anyone coming into the area, and if a crime occurred, then they could easily check back through their data and find exactly the car number, the people. And once they use CC cameras, they could zoom straight in and see who the person is, because most people are not going to do crime with and drive up to the crime with a mask on. they wouldn't have the mask. They normally put on the mask after or soon where they're going to get out to do the crime. So you'll be able to see who actually are in the car, so that when you check back, you'll have the data to determine specifically who these people are.
Several people are now displaced after a fire broke out in a building at King William Street, Bridgetown this morning. Deputy Chief Fire Officer Henderson Patrick says the Barbados Fire Service was alerted to the blaze at 7:15. They responded with 2 water tenders from the Bridgetown and Port fire stations along with 10 fire officers.
They found smoke being emitted from the northern side on the first floor. When they proceeded to investigate, they realized that 1 bedroom was involved. They were able to contain the fire in that area.
While investigations continue, Mr. Patrick raised concern over the number of uninsured homes affected by fire.
What we have discovered in the past is that 50% of the structural fires that we responded to, especially the wooden structures, did not have insurance. And we would obviously like to see this situation improved, because when these incidents occur, it's a tremendous stress burden on those people, on those owners. We would at least like to see them in a position where they can get back to a state of normalcy in a faster period of time.
Meanwhile, we're hearing that the newly constructed Barbados Fire Service and Emergency Services Complex is set to open in July. That's the word from Minister of Home Affairs and Information, Wilfred Abrams. The facility at Pine Plantation Road, St. Michael, will house the Fire Services headquarters and the Emergency Ambulance Services operations. Mr. Abrams provided an update on the new timeline on the sidelines of a sensitization seminar for the fire service at Erdeston Teachers Training College.
We had some recent challenges in relation to the AC units and some technicalities in relation to the installation of the ACs. That pushed us back a little bit, but the last date that I got from the project manager is that the station should be at a point of being able to be handed over towards the end of this month, at the latest very early next month. So we're looking at a July date for the opening of the station. That's all things being equal, but that's where it stands now. The station is pretty much almost completed. We're doing architect certification and whatnot, but we just have to address the issues with the installation of a couple of the ACs to just tick off all the boxes. But the bulk of the work in relation to the station is pretty much finished.
During the sensitization workshop, Minister Abrams noted that the way in which personnel at the new fire station operate will be heavily influenced by the surrounding schools. He commended the Barbados Fire Service for its willingness to always engage in assisting communities across Barbados, and he urged them to turn the information learnt into a movement and become big brothers, friends and mentors to the children all around.
So we took a decision. We have to include everybody in what it is that we're doing. We can't just drop a fire station right there and call it a day and start to operate the fire station. No. The schools must be involved in what we do. The teachers must be involved. We must be able to get feedback. We must take every step to accommodate everyone in our neighborhood, in particular because they are among the most vulnerable.
Barbados Prime Minister and CARICOM Chairman Mley is among Caribbean leaders who have met with the government of Brazil in the capital Brasilia for a high-level summit. The meeting was held on the margins of the just concluded 55th annual meeting of the Caribbean Development Bank. During the summit, Prime Minister Mley called for a sustained coalition and new pact to address environmental damage. She stressed the need for renewed global dialogue and scientifically informed responses to today's environmental and security challenges. Topics discussed included food and nutritional security, climate change, energy transition, risk and disaster management, and connectivity. Coming up, a project launched to use artificial intelligence for a faster, more accurate diagnosis. As technology continues to evolve, so too has the medical services provider Urgent Care Barbados. And it is implementing a new artificial intelligence-driven chest pain diagnosis pilot project. The installation began on June 11th and is set to be completed by June 18th, with comprehensive testing set to begin in July. Rachel Agard attended the facility at the Estates in St. George and files this report.
Urgent Care Barbados is on a mission to enhance the quality of healthcare delivery on island. And the medical services provider has now integrated artificial intelligence into its service delivery through a partnership with Scorpium AI. Barbados is the first country in the region to test the advanced AI system that will help clinicians diagnose chest pain faster and more accurately.
The timing of this initiative could not be more significant. It comes just as we have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Queen Elizabeth Hospital to provide life-saving thrombolytic therapy to patients suffering from confirmed heart attacks. With Scorpium's technology and the QEH's clinical reach, we are forming a powerful alliance in the fight against heart disease.
This AI pilot falls within the innovation domain of a new framework for a digital health transformation agenda, guided by the Pan American Health Organization and its information systems for health maturity assessment to build a national health information system.
As we embrace innovation, we must also be thoughtful. Integrating AI into healthcare must be guided by principles of ethics, equity, and patient safety above all else. We must ensure that these tools are used to augment the judgment of trained professionals and that patient data is handled responsibly with robust protections always in place.
This new technology positions Barbados and the wider Caribbean as a space that uses advanced technology to make lives better and build strong global businesses.
How do we advance human care? How do we advance the ability to actually make great decisions? It's ultimately us to use the tool effectively and well. And so the tool in itself is merely that, a tool. So the Caribbean is at a very intriguing point of its development, where maybe for the first time in the history of the world, small developing spaces have at the same time the same tools that advanced places have to move their populations and economies forward.
Following the pilot, the technology will be implemented at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital and other facilities before being introduced to Jamaica. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
69 companies have shown an interest in supplying 60 megawatt of battery energy storage put out for tender by the Ministry of Energy and Business. The revelation came during a media conference at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre to launch the second phase of the battery energy storage system procurement for Barbados. Minister of Energy and Business, Senator Lisa Cummins, said it was a defining moment for Barbados's energy sector. Trevor Thorpe was there and files this report.
Mr. Cummins said today's exercise was about unlocking the energy sector's potential. She told stakeholders in the renewable energy sector it was also about removing the technical jargon as the initiative affects real people.
This project here this morning is the transition from not being able to connect people's projects to the grid at an individual level, not being able to unlock over 500, not even 100 million, $500 million in potential investment that has been trapped in the banking system because these projects need to be operationalized. This is about energy independence and removing and replacing Barbados's import bill for energy. Renewable energy replaces our fossil fuel sources. So in 2024, you've heard me say before, 2023 I think it was, and I talked about those numbers, we went close to $1 billion, and the central bank is here, in the imports of fossil fuels to be able to power this country.
Telling the audience she was socializing her comments, Senator Cummins said more than $1 billion was spent in fossil fuel last year, and the government would rather spend that money on healthcare, education, and providing for the most vulnerable among us. She said it could help to grow the middle class and provide investment opportunities for people.
So the sun, because it only shines for a few hours in the daytime, we have to figure out ways in which to store the energy generated from the sun to make sure that our freezers, our appliances, our lights can come on throughout whenever we need to turn them on. And that is why a battery energy storage system project like the one we are launching here today is important.
Country manager at the Inter-American Development Bank, Karina Cockburn, said Barbados was the leader in the renewable energy thrust, and the bank had developed a model from the Barbados Initiative.
Over the past decade, Barbados has made extraordinary strides in its energy agenda. I'm pleased to say that the IDB has proudly walked alongside the government through this journey, supporting investments and institutional strengthening to improve energy security, reduce reliance on fossil fuels, imported fossil fuels, and expand the use of clean energy technologies. And our strong collaboration will continue.
During the morning's exercise, stakeholders called the project a critical aspect of government's thrust towards renewable energy for the future. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Sports Night is brought to you by Power Inn. Pause is power. And by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after.
Damien Best is here with all the sports news. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening to you, Tisha. Good evening to our viewers and listeners. Well, the highly anticipated inaugural Barbados Grand Prix is taking shape ahead of the scheduled July 5th event at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex. Organized by Aaron Spencer, a national junior triple jump record holder and 5-time CARIFTA medalist, the Grand Prix will see each team fielding up to 2 athletes per event across sprints, middle distances, hurdles, field events, and relays.
The Barbados Grand Prix draft was held at Bubba's Sports Bar on the South Coast on Thursday night, with representatives from the 4 teams on hand who selected their athletes, starting with the sprinters. The Lions, with a strong roster so far, will have World Under-20 Championship bronze medalist Kishonna Nels in their camp and fast rising talent Anaya Nurse. Additionally, Mario Burke and Julian Fort will spearhead the efforts of the Lions among the men. The Outlaws team drafted former double sprint BSAT champion Aragon Straker and NACAT Under-23 bronze medalist Raheem Tate Best, along with 6 others. Panthers will have some regional and international flair, with the likes of World Championship bronze medalist Michelle Lee Aye of Trinidad and Tobago. The 8 sprinters representing the Eagles team will include 2-time national champion Darian Clark. Now, the winner of each event is slated to take home $2,000, while the winning team will receive $5,000.
We as the Barbados Grand Prix team are, extremely excited about the level of talent that we've been able to attract to the meet. It truly feels like a landmark moment for track and field in Barbados, and for local sports in general. Of course, the response has been overwhelming in the best way possible. The energy around it has really affirmed the vision we had going on. Preparation so far has gone almost exactly as we planned, and we are more than ready to deliver what we believe will be a historic event for Barbados track and field.
Kerry Beckles and Ramon Armstrong will coach the Panthers. Jamal Grosvenor and June Cattle are leading the Lions, while Gabriel Burnett and Desiree Gamble are in charge of the Eagles. The athletes were selected from a pool of 112 athletes who were submitted based on their 2024 and 2025 performances.
Well, the Pro Formers Track Club came away from the recently concluded 2025 Whitsuntide Games held in Grenada with 17 medals, 9 gold, 1 silver and 7 bronze. 8 of those gold medals came from relays, with Tyrone Ross capturing the other in the under-13 boys high jump. The lone silver medal was won by Amelia Hall in the under-13 girls high jump. Hall also captured a bronze medal in the girls 200 meters, while bronze medals also went to Adonnie Graves in the boys under-13 long jump and Rhea Carter in the under-13 girls 100 meters. The other 4 bronze medals were won by relay teams. Swiss professional footballer Kevin Mbabu was the center of attention during a visit to the Speightstown playing field known as Mahaika for a round of matches in the Baiko Primary School's football competition today. The 30-year-old, who plays as a right back for Danish Superliga club Bridgetown, is in Barbados for a week-long visit facilitated by Member of Parliament for St. James North and Minister of Educational Transformation, Chad Blackman. Minister Blackman, who has touted the importance of sport to local development, says he's committed to ensuring he uses the international community that he has met throughout his career abroad to benefit the people of both St. James North and Barbadians in general. Mbabu, who signed autographs and interacted with the young footballers, has also visited the Whitehall and Sion Hill football clubs, offering guidance on the game and the route to professional football.
The last few days I've been visiting schools, secondary primary schools, football clubs, also the national team. The goal was just to engage with them, to share my experience, to also share my passion of football. And as you can see, everybody has been very happy about it. I've also been enjoying a lot. And you know, if I can share my passion and also give advices, because we all have the right to dream, to dream big. And like I've been telling the whole week, like if I manage to be a professional footballer, they can all do it.
The Caribbean Development Bank has been increasingly concerned about the delays in the execution of public sector projects in the region. President Daniel Best says this means the beneficiaries are not reaping the benefits of development work. His comments came at the end of a seminar on accelerating project implementation to reduce poverty, part of the annual CDB meeting being held in Brazil.
It is not sufficient for the people of our region to continue to wait inordinately long for projects to be delayed, because the student that has to wait too long for the new classroom, or the farmer that has to wait exceedingly long for irrigation to be delivered, or as Dr. Balgobin said, the sick person who needs health care. Each day that a project isn't actually delivered, these people suffer. It goes beyond disbursement numbers. It goes beyond approval numbers.
Urgent Care Barbados is set to open a second facility later this year at Welch's St. Thomas. This was disclosed by co-managing director Dr. Bandeli Majeks as he announced a pilot project to diagnose chest pains with the use of artificial intelligence.
This facility will be more than bricks and beds. It will be a symbol of what is possible when vision meets action, bringing together multiple specialties under one roof. Urgent Care Welch's will be more than just a hospital. It will be a beacon of modern, compassionate, and affordable healthcare, adding to the rapidly developing medical care options in Barbados. As our population ages and medical needs grow, this hospital will stand as a symbol of what's possible when innovation meets intention.
We're hearing tonight that the red carpet is being rolled out for fathers this weekend. Hotel and restaurant officials tell the Business Report preparations are at an advanced stage and bookings are up. Marketing and sales manager at Coconut Court, Tamisha Niles, says it's a family affair and accommodations have been made to include children as well.
We are celebrating dads with our Sunday buffet from 12:30 until 3:30. We'll have our live whiskey station. We'll also have face painting for the children. We'll have a live carving station as well and live entertainment.
At Hilton Barbados Resort, Assistant Marketing Manager B. Doughton says an unforgettable day has been planned for fathers and reservations are almost gone.
At Hilton Barbados Resort, we have a wonderful Father's Day lunch at our Lighthouse restaurant, so featuring all the favorites, including a carvery. So it's going to be a very exciting day. I've seen the menu. It looks very good. So we're ready to welcome everybody.
Now, a short ride away to Ocean Hotels Barbados, Sales and Marketing Manager Jackie McDermott tells the Business Report they will be celebrating dads with pomp and ceremony.
We have a fantastic, very special Father's Day brunch, all-inclusive, all your drinks, all your cocktails, all your food, and a fantastic view from the 9th floor of the Oro restaurant. You need to dress up for that one. We think Father's Day is a very, maybe not as busy as Mother's Day, but we think it should be. So get out there, get your dads together and come out and really enjoy the Sunday.
Sports Night is brought to you by Power In. Pause is power. And by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after.
Well, Damien is back for the second half of sports. Hi, Damien.
Yeah, thanks so much, Tisha. Well, as we head into next week's quarterfinals of the Dasani Powerade Secondary School's first form and under-15 netball competitions, Graydon Seeley registered a big win over Darrell Jordan in the under-15s section. CBC's Anne-Marie Burke reports.
The girls from Darrell Jordan in the Red Bibs traveled all the way to Graydon Seeley to suffer a heavy defeat, as from the first center pass, most of the action was down court. That's Graydon Seeley shooter Anaya Millington. Graydon Seeley's center pass and it's advancing down court. Darrell Jordan putting up some defense, but the ball is salvaged by goalkeeper Azobia Thomas. The overhead pass into Millington, who missed, but there is Thomas to keep possession and finish the play, albeit through the assistance from a contact call. Darrell Jordan had a single goal this first quarter, and here is goalkeeper Kiana Springer into shooter Shannara Duglin, who gets a double contact, and Springer steps in to take it and makes it count. But Graydon Seeley was in the driver's seat, and at the end of the first quarter were 9-1 leaders, and despite the shooters having some issues, they doubled that score by the half to 18-1. Into the third, and the girls from the Garrison were still on the all-out attack. And this time the circle play was much cleaner. One shot does it for Millington. Up court we go again. Millington in the right position and another clean execution. Darrell Jordan was able to add 2 more goals to their tally before the final whistle, picking up an advantage call here, and stepping in to take it was shooter Shannara Duglin, but she fell short and was still able to hold on to it before passing to attack Springer, who actually accounted for all of her team's goals. 3 from 8 attempts were her stats. But Graydon Seeley from get-go protected home turf, and while not the smoothest of games, the goals counted. Millington leading with 36. Her attack Thomas contributed 5. As Graydon Seeley won by a whopping 38-goal margin over Darrell Jordan, 41-3. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
That's tonight's news. On behalf of the entire crew, do have a great evening.